YouTube, what's up? When we're talking about good relationships or good marriages with food, it all manifests into the outer environment. So the environment is the environment, if you can look at it that way. So if we're having bad marriages, like if we're mixing alkaline fruits, like plenty of people go out and get those bars with the raisins or the dates and the nuts and all that terrible food combination. That's a bad marriage. That's a bad relationship. So you look at it like this. One thing is going to be processed fully, and another thing will be half-ass processed, if at all. So what happens to the food that is not processed? That's parasite food. That's food for worms. So anytime you're creating bad marriages, you're producing something, of course. You're producing, because you got to realize that when you digest things, you create chemicals. So you're producing something. What is driving you to eat these marriages or put these marriages in you? And most people eat these things for out of many reasons. Again, if you want soft and sweet, then you need love. You know what I mean? Salt is frustration. Crunchy is frustration. So it could be a bunch of emotional reasons all in one, and you just taking a bite of emotion and keeping it in you and keeping that cycle in you. So you got to understand that if you're not controlling your emotions, something is. So we're talking about good marriages. A good marriage or a good relationship, you could do acids, fats, proteins, and greens. So what I mean by that, an acid fruit would be like a tomato, a fat could be like avocado, a protein could be like garbanzo beans, sprouted ones of course, or sprouted pumpkin seeds. That could be fat and protein as well. And that would be way better of a marriage to mix with greens, like a salad or what have you, um, than if you were to throw raisins in that salad, or if you throw something sweet into that salad. That creates that lymph. That lymph creates basically a house where parasites can produce larvae. They leave the larva in the lymph, and then if you continue to eat that way, you're expanding your lymph, more and more lymph. Then you require more water. The more water, it's just a whole cycle. So the more water, then you demand more earth. So then it's a battle between earth and water that it's just you're in this tumultuous battle of earth and water, and it just something that you really don't want to get involved in. It has everything to do with bad marriages, and you can see it in society. Bad marriages inside manifest into bad marriages externally. It's just a part of it. But I mean, it's all a lesson. Marriage itself means mirror image, so of course it makes total sense. And when we get into fiber real quick, insoluble fiber or soluble fiber, let's just break it down to this: wet fiber and dry fiber. You'd rather have wet fiber, it flows a lot better, than dry fiber. I mean, you can moisten up something, again, it's marriage. So if you have something dry like a pumpkin seed, sprouted pumpkin seed, you can marry it with something that will help it digest, like an acidic fruit, like well, if you had tomatoes, would be an acidic fruit. And then if you had tomatoes, garbanzo beans that are sprouted, they have a wet fiber now because they've absorbed the water. And again, I always soak things in distilled water because it it will absorb better than water that has electricity in it. So if I follow my pumpkin seeds or mix my pumpkin seeds with something that marries better for digestion, then that's a good marriage. That'll all work out. That'll produce good children. That'll produce, that will be whatever you express is the child of that marriage. Whatever you use that fuel for, that is the brainchild of that marriage. So, just gonna leave it at that. Quick little video about the people that are on that nut and sugar mix.